Welcome back. For the past 40 years, Montana has ranked in the top 5 for suicide rates in the country. At times, we've been #1 on that list.
It's a troubling statistic and an issue that has likely touched many of you in some way. Throughout 2017, we'll be teaming up with Montana experts, those passionate about saving lives, to look into suicide in our state and, even more importantly, how to lower the rate and ideally eliminate suicide. And tonight we kick off the MTN Zero Suicide Initiative with a look at what the problem is and what we hope to accomplish through these stories.
Suicide. It's an incredibly difficult subject to discuss that takes emotional energy and effort. The numbers are staggering. In a report from the Montana Suicide Mortality Review Team, 555 Montanans took their own life between January 1st, 2014 and March 1st, 2016. 79% were male, 21% female. Of the 555, 104 were committed by those aged 55 to 64, followed closely by those 35 to 54 years old. Montana's most populated counties lead the list in the number of suicides per county. During the 2-year time span, Cascade County reported 29 suicides, Lewis and Clark reported 27. Beyond the statistics are people, the lives lost. A grassroots effort is affecting change to break Montana's trend of continually being among the nation's leaders of suicide rates.
It's the personal responsibility of all of us to gain knowledge, to become educated, and not be nonchalant about this issue. It's a very grave and troubling issue within our state.
Comprised of many passionate and committed people representing different sectors of the community, the local advisory council suicide prevention team was formed to get to the heart of the issue, to educate and break down stigma.
Stigma is born of fear and ignorance, or fear and lack of knowledge. And so when you counterbalance that lack of knowledge with information about what resources the community has, where you can gain help, where you can gain assessment, gain screenings.
Public health services are a big part of changing stigma.
The City County Health Department is involved in the suicide prevention team because we're interested in helping with the education piece, and we're hoping to do some screenings at the health department this year and in other locations. But we also want to provide supports to parents of young children.
In looking at statistics, the numbers among Montana's Native American population are particularly troublesome, with a suicide rate more than double the national average. For our state's young population in 2015, nearly 9% of high schoolers attempted suicide at least once, and 11.6% of 7th and 8th graders had attempted suicide in the last year. We live in a culture that often values perceived toughness, self-sufficiency, and not asking for help.
If we could pull ourselves up by the bootstraps, then that'd be different, but it's without knowledge of how and the resources, that's a little difficult.
But there is hope.
The only thing to fear is fear of death. Certainly not fear of therapy or fear of being helped.
Now, the MTN Zero Suicide Initiative is about more than telling stories and showing statistics. We want to cultivate change and provide resources.
On our website, you'll find a new tab where we'll be posting all of our stories along with information, phone numbers, and websites to provide help for those who need it. You can head to KRTV.com and find the MTN Zero Suicide Initiative link. And coming up tomorrow night, we'll dispel some of the myths that surround suicide in Montana.